Hey guys, this is Cam15. I'm back at it with another video for you guys, and I am back talking some more anime reviews, even, a series review in Batwoman. But yes, I am back, finally. I still have at least some pain slash, to be honest, it's kind of still hard to talk a bit, but now I'm feeling so much better than this week than I compared to last week. Again, some background information if you guys didn't know. Again, if you didn't see my channel update video that released last week on Wednesday, I actually had gotten my bottom two wisdom teeth, taken out. So essentially, it was really hard for me to talk with a sore and stiff jaw, and then two, I wasn't feeling strong enough to frickin' do reviews, so I essentially took, I guess you could say, a much needed rest break from YouTube. All I can say is gameplays for Fairy Tail and Resident Evil are coming back. I know I bulk recorded some recordings that I still gotta private and upload to YouTube and then do my editing and stuff like that off my PS5. So gameplays are still gonna be things. Reviews going back, starting for ReZero. I think starting for the Superman show coming out on the CW. I'm going to be reviewing things on, again, like I said, a daily basis, and give you guys content you obviously missed last week. Anyways, because of obviously me being out and me not getting a chance to talk over the episodes, I'm gonna run through all the shows, animes, mostly animes, that I watch this week, give my thoughts. I'm not going to go into full depth reviews and stuff like that. So if I can find the whole timestamp thing for YouTube video creators, I'll leave timestamps for when, you can go to the preferred anime you need to check out and stuff like that. But the animes, that I'm gonna give a brief summary and my thoughts on, obviously ReZero, Quintessential Quintuplets, Dr. Stone, Dragon Quest, One Piece, My Hero Academia manga chapter 302, Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 69, and obviously the last thing to cap it off was Batwoman. Honestly, thinking about it now, I think I might just make my own manga section for I'm probably gonna make my own manga review for chapter 6 for those separate chapters. So yeah, anyways, let's get on to it. So don't worry about the manga chapters, like I said I was gonna do. Anyways, let's start off with obviously the first anime that I typically review this week, and that is ReZero. ReZero, man, I will say this. ReZero was really freaking whack because we get the backstory more of Roswell and what really happened to Ryuzu, the real true Ryuzu, and the whole thing with this whole, I think the guy's name is Hector from what I remember. That guy came out of nowhere, was freaking crazy strong. I'm starting to be like, bro, we just got out of a freaking Amelia backstory regarding Pandora, who looked like she was, if not probably the strongest character in ReZero we've seen. Then we get this guy named Hector, who looks similar or dressed similar to current day Roswell, was absolutely destroying Roswell. And I'm like, so this guy is apparently strong too, and stuff like that. That whole thing was freaking insane and stuff like that. What I thought was also more insane was, dude, do they really have to? Now I see why Roswell is simping for Echidna. That girl Echidna, even though she's like, look, I'm a bad witch, but I do good things. And she gave him that kiss with essentially, I guess, making each other taste their saliva or something like that, or swapping their spit or whatever you want to call it, them making out. I saw that scene for the first time and I was like, oh my. That was a very sexy ass kiss. I must say so myself. That was a very sexy ass kiss. When I saw that, I was like, Yikes. Now I see why Roswaal is so infatuated with Echidna. But, you know, you get the whole theme with that whole stuff. You know, the plan is to make, you know, the Ryuzu essentially the main reason why she sticks up the barrier and everything. And you see there's a very emotional moment between her and Beatrice, with them saying goodbye. Like, I really felt the emotions and stuff like that. That was really sad. So that whole backstory ended. And, you know, when you get back to the main present thing, you know, Roswell's telling, you know, Subaru, like, look, I'm not going to give up regardless what you're going to do. And you can't make me give up regardless. I'm going to be sticking by my word because, you know, it's all crazy he is for Echidna. I know the theory is around what happened to him because we see the one thing is, you know, Roswell dresses, the way he looks or the way he's dressed is like Hector. And two, he's got two different eye contact type of things. He's got a yellow eye and then a blue eye. You see in the backstory, he had two blue eyes. Now he has one blue eye, one yellow eye. So it's very interesting to see what happened. Like, did they like fuse of some sort? Who knows? But that's all I'm gonna say for ReZero. Like I said, ReZero will get back to its regularly scheduled reviews on Wednesday. So next up after that, I guess is you can say Quintessential Quintuplets, or actually to be in chronological order, next up is Dr. Stone. I'm gonna do Dr. Stone next. So Dr. Stone, again, was a very interesting episode. We know from 2 weeks ago, as I'm making this video, or from the last episode, we see that, you know, Chrome saw that there was traps set for obviously the tank that Senku was going to use to try to break him out. So Chrome, you know, he freaking comes up with his own, you know, way to get out of there. And I thought it was very interesting because, too, we get introduced to another character who, I forgot the guy's name, but he's like essentially a police dude. And we see that he was a very, you know, aggressive, brutal type of cop where he actually lost his job because he took things too far and stuff like that. Like, there was a part he's like, why don't we just kill? He was telling, like, you know, in his flashback, like, he's telling his, like, commander-in-chief, like, yo, why don't we just kill the guys? It's just criminals. But the dude's like, no, we can't tolerate that. So, yeah, we see that whole backstory and stuff like that. And then we see Chrome. He knows he has to get out of there. And I like the way how he may, you know, somebody put it, I watched somebody's reviews, and they said they put it at best. Usually, Chrome doesn't come up with his own things. Usually, he comes up with the idea and Senku brings it to fruition and stuff like that. And it makes Senku get all the credit and everything. And so, like, this is one of the first times we see Chrome do something, have a plan, and he does it to get himself and give himself a moment. You know, the fact that he faked himself trying to use the restroom, and he got, like, just essentially plants. And he used all the plants and, you know, science of using, like, a battery type of thing, you know, by using his own sweat to freaking break the cage. And then, you know, he fooled the police cop by using, like, these flowers to make him think that he had pneumonia, like, you know, Rui did, you know, from season 1. And it fooled him and stuff like that. And then, you know, to get him all the way back, I was like, dog, Chrome was a G. So I'm really liking where Dr. Stone is going. I wonder what's going to happen next. Obviously, I'm wondering if Tsukasa is going to be more aggressive now. Because now, obviously, they let a prisoner go and stuff like that. So, yeah, no lie, I actually thought he had that disease, and I was actually scared. But then, you know, when you find out, oh, he just faked it, I was like, smart. But another good episode of Dr. Stone, and can't wait to see what's coming, what this episode's going to be about next, this upcoming Thursday. So next up on the list is the Quintessential Quintuplets, which I thought was a very funny, adorable, and just great episode of Quintessential Quintuplets. And can I just say this? This is why I love myself some Nino. One, she is best girl. Nino is best girl for this series. Oh my goodness. To finally have Nino be what I would say, go away from the typical trope in these harem/romance animes where you have either the guy character, a guy character, or a girl character who's, I guess, really having feelings. Now, it's mostly the girl character who has feelings. you know, you would think, okay, you know, in the instant after what's his face, you see that when Futaro picks her up from, you know, just standing outside I think there was their original house, he takes Nino, and Nino says, like, I love you on their bike ride, but Futaro doesn't hear it. And it's like, oh, are you serious, dude? They're gonna do that trope again. And eventually, you know, she's like, you know, she's talking to him in the kitchen, and, you know, we find out Futaro doesn't know what she said, and she's like, you know what, screw this. And I'm like, dude, please do not do the trope where the girl does not tell the guy that you have feelings for somebody, or that you love him, that you like him, and stuff like that, and then they don't realize, and then because the MC is too dumb to realize that. And I like the fact that Quintessential Quintuplets did the opposite of that trope. And instead of doing the typical trope where Nino, in her case, is the girl, would not tell the guy her feelings, Nino was like, man, screw the tropes. I'm going over here and telling this guy I have feelings for him, that I like him. When I saw the fact that she straight up said, oh no, Futaro, what I said is I love you, and I'm gonna make you mine regardless, and I'm gonna make you a girl that you fall for. And I was like, Nino's being I was like, bruh, Nino's being freaking bold here. And it's like, the funny thing is, it looks like Futaro's not against it. Like, he's like, you know, we see later in the episode, he kind of asks Miku about it without revealing, you know, who the person it is. But you can see he might be into Nino. And honestly, I ship Futaro and Nino so bad. I was so happy that Nino did that. And I'm like, bruh, after this episode, I swear I saw comments from everywhere. Everybody's like, Nino is best girl. And I'm like, yes, Nino gang, rise, because we're here. So it is funny. And I did like the fact how when she said, I'm gonna make you a girl that you fall for, and she gave the crazy eyes, like, this is how crazy she's gonna go. And like, dog, you know, it's all funny. Too, another thing is Ichika also heard in on Nino telling Futaro that she loves him. So she heard that, and it looked like Ichika was going to do the same thing and potentially tell Futaro that she likes Futaro. But we know Ichika is the type of girl that is hiding her true feelings in it. And again, I feel like if they make another sister win, like say Nino, and I feel like that's gonna suck for Ichika, because it's like, I mean, like, she had all these chances to tell Futaro, but she tried to really hold her true feelings in. Now, she could do it for the goodness of her sisters. Again, none of the other sisters know. Really, the only sister that knows who likes who is Ichika, and Miku know that, or Ichika knows that Miku likes Futaro as well. Now she knows that her other sister, Nino, is in love with Futaro. So yeah, very interesting. That was funny. I did like the fact that Nino, and when I mean Nino's being bold, bruh, she followed this man Futaro, because they go on a trip later in the episode, Futaro and his parents, but then Futaro runs into Quintuplets and her dad. You know, you see Nino's complete character, and the way she acts towards Futaro is so much different. Like, she's calling him by, you know, his first name. And it's funny because one of the sisters is like, wait, you're calling him by your first name? And she's like, yeah, is there a problem with that? Which I'm like, bruh, she's in love. And then it's like, even to go further home the point that she's more in love with this dude, she follows this man into a mixed bath, and she's willing to take a bath with him. He's like, I'll scrub your back and you can scrub mine. And I'm like, bro, if that was me, I'd be like, yes, please. You can come right in here. I wouldn't even care if I'm talking to Itsuki from, you know, the other side of the wall. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, I'm freaking bathing with your hot sister. But the only problem is Futaro is still stupid because he can't tell what hair it is. And it's like, dog, come on. And even Itsuki says, like, bruh, you can't be that stupid to tell which one of us is different, because Itsuki knows it's Nino. Obviously because of the voice. But, you know, freaking Futaro is dumb as a brick when it comes to identifying whose hair it is. So it's really stupid. I'm like, dude, come on. She walks off rightfully pissed, but again, she says, I'm gonna get. Now, Nina says she's gonna give up, but I'm like, no, you're not. The heart wants what the heart wants, and you're gonna be coming back simping for Futaro, so you make him his. So that's the interesting thing there, and that's kind of it from what the episode really gave. Nothing much else. The only bigger thing is who was apparently Itsuki in the dark. I'm more led to inclined to believe that was Ichika, because Ichika's the type of person that says, I want you to end this relationship we have with us. Maybe because she doesn't want Futaro getting too close to his sister where it ends up breaking somebody's heart, because that would be kind of bad and sad, because it's like, well, if he falls for one sister, one of the other sisters who likes him, in a case, let's say this, he hooks up with Nino, Miko's feelings are going to be hurt. So, yeah, and at the same time, Ishika's also trying to push him away too, is because she has feelings for Futaro. She just doesn't want to admit it, and she's trying to hide it in, and she feels like that's something that's a weakness to her. That, yes, he's done so many nice things, but the more I like his nice things, the more I start to fall for him. She's trying to push him away so she doesn't, fall high over heels over him, even though technically she is. So, yeah, again, it's going to be very interesting, whenever this series ends, if they do the anime version of the ending, who he's going to hook up with. Hopefully it's Nino, but honestly, I could see him hooking him with Ichika, to be honest. I feel like it's coming down to either Ichika or Nino, with a little bit of Itsuki in there, but who knows. So, yeah, that's all I got to say for Quintessential Quintuplets. So, the next series up on Fridays is Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai. So, Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai really revolves around the fact that, well, you see that frickin' Mr. Vern came back and he saved Blizzard. He gives him this freaking old powerful armor that eventually is taking the gang out at first, but then Dai gets back in the fight, and he easily takes him down by using Avant Strash, which was pretty cool animated, so I enjoyed it and stuff like that. So he kind of beats him, and then, Blizzard kind of just dies and he withers away and stuff like that. When it also looks like Princess Leona is going to be dead for good. They make Mom use only spell with her magic bullet, plus the magic bullet gun. So they eventually do a sizzle spell thanks to Dai. Predicts open the crystal, but the only thing is, her mom's magic bullet gun, it just breaks, it just shatters, and it's broken. So it seems like next week's gonna be a factor if they can fix it or not. Princess Leona is saved. I did like the whole ending interaction, I did like the whole interaction between Leona and Dai, because it's funny, because she comes up and she's like, "Are you serious?" She gives him this sly look, and he's like, "What did I do to deserve this?" And she's like, "This is supposed to be more an emotional moment." I'm like, "You're the one who can make this more emotional. Dai was worried sick about you," and stuff like that. I'm like, girl, if you're gonna be like that, just give this dude a kiss, and maybe you'll freaking get your emotional moment. She also acknowledges the fact that, what Hinako did is, yes, she's like, "Listen, I'm not gonna kill you. Just continue being a student of Avant." So, we see Hinako and Crocodile. They're eventually gonna be spying on the Dark Army and seeing what they're doing at their headquarters and stuff like that without getting caught and stuff like that. Also, in the same time, we see Zabarero with the Dragon Legion commander. I forgot his name. We see that, he brings up the fact, Zabarero brings up the fact that Dai can't unleash a special power, which is, the Dragon Crest. And essentially the dude is like, what? He has the Dragon Crest? So I don't know if this guy is related to Dai in some sort. It's immorally implied that he's related to Dai, or maybe he wants to know how Dai is able to achieve that type of power. Any other orders? Also, Hadlar is still alive, which is thanks to Mr. Vern that brought him back to life. And we kind of find out essentially because Mr. Vern brought him back to life. Because Vern gave Hadlar a new body, his body gets stronger. So, okay, that's just wonderful. I'm guessing it's weird. It's like he can't die. Essentially, Hadlar is immortal. He can keep coming back over and over and over again. So they gotta take out Mr. Vern. They gotta take out Mr. Vern, but I think next week is gonna be like a training little episode that they're doing, and especially get ready to fight the Dragon Legion. So yeah, because that's the strongest legion and stuff like that. So yeah, nothing much of nothing else. Now, the next anime up is One Piece, which is the final anime that I'm gonna be talking about. One Piece I thought was another good episode in terms of the Oden backstory. One, if you didn't know, Whitebeard has a new voice actor because the old voice actor passed away. I don't know when he passed away, but he passed away. Again, it sucks. It was the same thing back when the former voice actor of Bulma from Dragon Ball passed away. You're gonna have to have eventually, if you're gonna continue these series in the anime format, you know, you're gonna have to find replacements. And it's the thing that sucks about, you know, long-running series like, say, One Piece or a Dragon Ball. You know, not all the voice actors live till the end of their respective series, you know, and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people bring up the fact that the Luffy voice actor is really up there in age, you know, and they always wonder, will she be alive in terms of the anime by the end of the series? And it's gonna suck, you know, if she passes away before it does. But you know, the show must move on, and you got to find somebody that at least has a somewhat identical voice to, you know, obviously these characters. And I thought the guy did a pretty job. I haven't watched previous, you know, sub episodes of Whitebeard, so I can't really get a good guess or a good, you know, guess on how he sounds. But he sounded pretty good to me from what I heard. He sounded like Whitebeard. Then again, I had played Pirate Warriors 4, so I have heard the Japanese voice of him. I just don't really remember it fondly for Whitebeard. But you have this whole funny episode where the first part is you have an amazing clash. The animation between Oden versus Whitebeard was amazing. Like, that was picture perfect animation. And yeah, you know, after the fight, you just have Oden essentially asking Whitebeard, yo, let me take me on your ship. I want to go out to sea and stuff like that. And obviously we know it's an illegal crime for, you know, somebody from Wano to leave the country and just go out to sea and stuff like that. And Whitebeard's totally against it and stuff like that. And it comes to a boiling point when Whitebeard's ship, the Moby Dick, is all done. They sail out, but then frickin' Oden, he frickin' wraps onto the ship and stuff like that. Izu actually follows him, so it explains why Izu was always on Whitebeard's ship and stuff like that, or how he ended up in Whitebeard's crew, even though, you know, at first it seemed like Izu did not like Whitebeard at all. And then Whitebeard gave a challenge. He's like, hold on to your little strap for 3 days, and then, you know, if you hold on for 3 days, you can join my crew and stuff like that. And what I liked at the end, you know, you had Marco and the others. Can I just say this? The girl, Whitey Bay, she is a bae. No pun entirely intended. But what is it? Yeah, it's funny because you have Marco and the other Whitebeard pirates cheering him on. It's like, you can do it. But then, you know, you have the end of the episode where this girl is getting attacked by these people. Oden shows up and kind of takes him down, but he's all mumble jumbled fat, and then that's where the episode ends off. Now, from what I know, that is actually the parents of Momonosuke, and Hiyori, that is Toki. So yeah, I don't mind the design. It looks cool. It seems like she has lighter greenish hair compared to Hiyori. I'm guessing when, you know, Hiyori obviously came out and she had her hair, the reason why she has darker turquoise hair is obviously, I guess, the black hair from Oden, and then, you know, the light greenish hair of Toki, which essentially, you know, you kind of make a little bit of a darkish, you know, impact on that lightest green. You could come up with turquoise. Now, I'm probably going to speak more about this in my upcoming review for the next episode for One Piece this upcoming Saturday. But again, if you're trying out this video, I'm going to see you in my next video. Look, I'm not trying to start no beef with the YouTuber Grand Line Reviews, but I saw his tweet talking about how lazy the Toki design you know, when you match up Toki and Hiyori. He made up in a tweet, and I'm going more into detail in that in this upcoming One Piece episode review, of how he said it was a lazy design, and I'm gonna have to wholeheartedly disagree. Because when you have other characters that are relatives in a way, listen, there's a way to tell that mother and daughter looks alike and stuff like that. And I don't like the fact that he said it's a lazy design when we've had lazier designs. Like, dog, look at Robin and her mom. I would probably consider that more of a lazy design than Hiyori and Toki, because one, their hairstyles are completely different. You know, he brought up the fact about their clothing. The clothing was completely different too. They're both from Wano, from what I know. What do you expect them to wear other than a kimono? They have slightly different hair, so that's different and stuff like that. So yeah, and anyways, going back to the fact, if we're gonna talk about lazy character designs, again, like I said, look at Robin and her mom. Olvia essentially was pre-time skip Robin. It was essentially a pre-time skip Robin design, a mature pre-time skip Robin design with white gray hair. That's what Nico Olvia looked like. And that's essentially what Robin looks like in the entire pre-time skip. And he too, same eye color. Oh, I don't know if he had that same sentiment in the manga when he did it, but if he did have the same sentiment in the manga, please check out the chapter that he had, or maybe I can do my own research, see if he had the same complaints. But if I check out his manga chapter review when she was introduced, she was introduced and he had no complaining, then I'm gonna have a real issue with him. I really do hate people that are manga elitist, because they're just adapting, the anime is adapting what the manga is giving them. And if he's gonna say Toki is a lazy character design, you can look at any other motherly characters in One Piece and show that they're very lazy design. Another lazy design, Lola and her sister, Chiffon. They're exactly the same design. But that's not lazy? Okay, Grand Line Reviews. Again, I don't want to have any beef with that guy. Credit to his credit. He's been doing, YouTube much longer than me, and he's a more subscriber fan base. I'm just saying, I don't think what Grand Line Reviews says is true about Toki's design. I don't think it's a lazy design. I think it's a pretty good I think it's a pretty fine, good design. And, how are you gonna tell how you gonna tell who's a mother and who's daughter? So yeah, so that's the case. That's my thing. And then Batwoman, last night, Batwoman, I thought was okay. I honestly kind of wasn't really feeling last week's episode, if I'm being honest. And for the last, I think 4 episodes of Batwoman, I have actually been saying Batwoman has actually been good. This episode for me, in my case, was okay. I was invested to an extent. Like, really kind of what they were doing in the whole Jack Napier picture thing, I kind of was like, I'm not really feeling that whole thing. They also do bring back one of, Kate Kane's old friends from high school, who we later find out is Wolf Spider and stuff like that. Really, the only thing I really truly, another element they put in the episode was the fact that, Ryan does not trust the crows. Like, Luke and Mary, like, listen, we got to work with the crows, to get to what we need to help to get the information to find Kate and stuff like that. And we see that Ryan vehemently, does not like the crows, and she doesn't want to go against the crows because she feels like, well, the crows set me up, and, they do all this thing. Like, she tells Luke in a backstory of how she took her girlfriend drugs and they thought it was hers. And that's why she got convicted 18 years, a month in prison. And Luke has an emotional talk where it's like, well, I hate the crows too. They killed my dad. And for what we saw from last season and stuff like that. And, it's a whole thing. And then when you see by the end of the episode, when the crows eventually take the picture, this is where she brings up the fact where she's like, see, I'm the person who's going out there risking my life to do all this shit. And, I have to, no, you guys Luke and Mary, you guys run things by me, and I'm in control of what I do, and you guys just sit there and listen to what I'm gonna do in my decision. It's kind of a rude statement by Ryan. You know, I can understand where she's coming from, but at the same time, this is a team thing. This isn't a one-man show. And two, you know, she isn't exactly doing herself any best interest of telling anybody any shit. When you're not telling well, she eventually told Mary, but when you're not telling, I think, from what I remember, she told Mary, when you're not telling Luke, like, oh, guess what? I got you with a kryptonite bullet. And you know, as you see the end of the episode, the wound is getting much deeper and much bigger, and it looks even worse. And it's clearly affecting her and what she's trying to do with Batwoman and stuff like that. And it's clearly having a problem. So, you know, I don't know if they're going to develop. Definitely, they're doing this whole thing where she's not telling nobody, and I feel like it's going to come to a storyline. And I said this in a previous Batwoman review. I feel like it's going to come to a point where she's too weak, and she's going to be on the brink of life or death. And eventually, they're going to have to do some surgical procedure, get some antidote to essentially cure her, and stuff like that. Now, if that's the case, it would be nice if they try to bring maybe a Supergirl character to the Batwoman show. It doesn't have to be Melissa Benoist's Kara, just somebody who's smart in the knowledge of kryptonite from the Supergirl show to come over to Gotham and help Ryan out with her whole situation and stuff like that. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting where that storyline goes. The only really thing I was kind of interested in was this whole Alice Ocean thing. Alice eventually finds Ocean. Eventually, Ocean's like, dude, I'm not gonna be like played at the fact that, you know, you tried to kill me. Like, better. And and it's a funny thing because in the hotel room, he lists down reasons to Alice, like, yo, I do all this thing. You could have killed me this entire time, but you wanted to have some casual talk in a bar with me and everything. And eventually, Alice does ask, you know, him questions like, do you remember me and stuff like that? And, you know, she's like. And he's like, dude, I don't know who you are. But when he touches her, he gets the same type of flashback type of memory things that happens to her. And it's like, what the hell's going on here? So they later come to thinking to a point that maybe Sapphire erased their memories of each other to make them not know each other. And anyways, the episode kind of somewhat ends in Alice's standpoint is when she touches Ocean again, we get a flashback to them making out. So I guess the theory of Beth, Alice and Ocean being lovers, well, it's true, and stuff like that. I definitely do get a lot of sexual attention off these guys. I won't be shocked if at one point, you know, they might sleep together at one point in the season. So that's the whole thing. They eventually escaped from these assassins that were coming out to kill them, and it looks like they're going to be a team up. We don't know, stuff like that, but I think the thing is now these two characters are trying to find out why Sapphire, you know, mess with their memories and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, I thought Batwoman's episode yesterday was okay. It could have been much better, but it was okay. It was nothing really to be like, oh, I thought it was a good episode. It was one of my first episodes where I was like, I kind of was not much really, you know, I guess intrigued to see. Like, yes, in some cases the episode pushed the plot, but in other cases I feel like it didn't do that. That's just me. Like, I'm gonna be honest where I call it. I was not really interested. I was really not, you know, morally intrigued or interested in watching this episode. Like, really the only thing I was kind of interested in the most was this Ocean Alice side plot. So yeah, hopefully they can get me back interested, because last episode really did lose me there. But yeah, I thought this week, that's kind of all I gotta say. I'm probably gonna make a manga chapter review for Dragon Ball and My Hero Academia in its own video talking about what happened in their manga chapters. So yeah, hopefully you guys like the video. Again, put your thoughts in any of the shows that I watched that I put in this video, your thoughts. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.